Intersection, we range in on the map view and notice that the vertical profile shows our path on the descent that is very close to terrain. So we push the range knob to activate panning mode, move the cursor to the descent path, and range in to see what elevations are along that path. With terrain along the path at nearly 2,000 feet, we open the flight plan again and change the altitude constraint to 2,500 feet, which provides for our clearance over the terrain. Next, we highlight KSJC and press the Enter button to go to the airport information page. Activate the cursor and move it to set the ATIS frequency, which we load into COM2 standby. Then we move the cursor to the tower frequency. Press the COM knob to select COM1, and then press Enter to place the tower frequency into COM1 standby. After making the ATIS frequency active on COM2, we listen to ATIS and hear
San Jose International Information Mike, 1420 Zulu weather, wind 310 at 4, visibility 10, sky clear below 12,000, temperature 8, dew point 4, landing runway 30 left, departing runway 30 right, altimeter 299er2, advise on initial contact, you have information, Mike.
Since we can expect a visual approach to 30 left, we press the Procedures button, press Enter to select Approach, and scroll down to Visual 30 left, and again press Enter. Since we expect vectors to get us lined up, we select that. Move the cursor to Load, and press Enter. This places the approach after our destination in the flight plan, and our navigation continues as before. Notice the new leg showing straight out from runway 30 left. Looking at the flight plan, we can see we are now within 5 minutes of the top of descent. With a clearance to descend at pilot discretion to 2,500 feet, we adjust the selected altitude to 2,500 feet and press the VNAV button to arm capture of the vertical path. When within 1 minute of the top of descent, we see the vertical deviation indicator appear, and an annunciation telling us the TOD is in 1 minute. We also hear vertical track, and this is where we make sure to have our selected altitude adjusted and VNAV armed for capture. As we capture the vertical path, our descent begins to our designated altitude. During the descent, ATC contacts us and provides us with vectors to the visual approach to runway 30 left. Our instructions are now to turn to heading 030 and descend to 3000, so we adjust the heading bug, select heading mode, and adjust the selected altitude to 3000. Now that we are on vectors to final, we can activate the approach, and in this case, we do so using the Procedures button on the PFD. Once the approach has been activated, we see the VPath annunciator flashing in yellow, indicating that guidance has been deactivated. After we see the automatic switch to pitch mode, we select vertical speed mode to continue our descent. As we near the final approach course, ATC turns us to a new heading of 340 degrees and clears us for the approach. So we press the APR button to arm the approach, which is indicated by the white GPS and GP indications in the AFCS status box. We can see the lateral course capture here, indicated by the flashing green GPS annunciation, and we see the vertical deviation indicator with the VDI currently showing at the top. During approach, it's possible you can use the vertical situation display view to observe when to expect intercept of the glide path or glide slope. Here we can see the cyan track vector line extending from the nose of the aircraft. Since we configured this indicator for a 1-minute track, we can see about 2 minutes from intercept of the vertical guidance. We can also see that no terrain is depicted in our path. Vertical guidance during a visual approach will take us on a 3-degree descent to the touchdown zone of the runway. Here, we're about to capture the glide path and begin our descent to the runway. As the glide path is captured, we see the flashing GP indication in the AFCS status box, and the descent begins. As we get closer to the airport environment, we can see the white outline around the runway and the airport sign showing KSJC. You can also see the green flight path marker over the touchdown zone. After landing, we set the range on the navigation map to provide for a safe taxi view that helps us navigate at this unfamiliar airport, and press the double arrow button to activate ground on COM1. Well, that's it. We've reached our parking spot, and you've reached the end of this scenario. In the scenario, you observed how to execute a visual approach. Next up is our lesson that covers